What up? What up? All right. If y'all watching this on replay, just go ahead and skip to the 2 minute mark. I know I say this every day, but for those who coming in for the first time, that's why I do it. This had a little tight. I'm gonna lie. I got a big head too. That's what it is. This is like a 7 and 7/8 or something like that. Look at that. But I don't wear this hat that much, so it ain't broken in. But my head's still big. They don't go past 8. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, but yeah, the 2 minute mark is where the video start. I think I'm gonna do a little mashup of different videos. All right, 2 minute mark. Let's get it going. Today's video. Well, I might do a few videos today, but this. Let me see. Hold up. Okay, this video I seen because I had a few different topics I wanted to talk about, but it just we'll see how I go, you know. But this one is we don't actually fall in love with another person, right? So I'm gonna play the video and give me 1 second. Oh, hold up. My bad. Share and
I'm a relationship coach. She said, we don't fall in love with the other person. We fall in love with the version of us that we get to be through and with the other person. Because love becomes so personified. It's over there with them. So then devastation happens if they leave. It's like, well, the love is over there. No, 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 no. They're the catalyst to reveal the love that is your nature. So who were you with that man? That's what you want. You don't want him. You want the you that you were with him.
Right. It was just so open.
Yeah, there was a joy, there was a freedom. You had a sense of possibility for the future, what was going to happen, the family, the marriage, the trips. But you generated that.
Yeah.
You just associated it with him. And the lie is, because he's not in your life, that you've lost that.
Yeah. Okay, so you're able to replicate like very, very deep love with literally anyone.
That's my nature.
That's really the most beautiful thing I've ever heard, honestly.
We might have just cracked you open to your real nature,
yeah.
All right, looked like she fell in love right there, right? So I feel like this message. I don't know if I should go into the comments first. Let me go into. I feel like this message is extremely dangerous. Like it's a bad message to relay because most people are not going to truly understand that message, and they're going to look for every moment to bail out of a relationship. You know, and one of the things he said was he said that he felt, well, not he felt, but that you are the person didn't bring it out of you. You always had it pretty much, and that you know you're capable of replicating that love with anyone else. So the love that you was showing and giving and everything, and that's not true, right? Sometimes it is the other person that brings the best out of you. Granted, even though I said before in the past, you know, you are a product of, well, I mean, you are who you are, and like you want to see if a person is naturally a certain way with even their exes. Like if they treat their exes good, then more than likely they'll continue to treat you good. If they always treated all their exes bad, and then you happen to come around and they start treating you good, they probably won't be able to sustain that, and they will revert back to the foul person that they were. But in this video, and I'm gonna play it again a couple times for the people who coming in live. But in this video, he telling this woman that you can pretty much replicate this at any time is dangerous, because this is what's going to happen. One, relationships are hard. It's up and down, right? And the moment that she feels it's getting too difficult and she thinks her love is fading away because, passion comes and goes, she's going to say, oh, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? And I think that's a dangerous message. Most people are not going to receive this message the correct way. They're just going to see it as, I'm going to bail. And in the comments, there's this one comment. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it at? Best version of yourself rewarded. Hold on. Let me see. There's this one comment that kind of proved that to me. Why I can't see more comments? It's not showing me all the comments for some odd reason. Let's see if I can see it on my phone. I don't know, but I can't find it right now, and I don't want to spend too much time looking for it. But let's read some of these comments, right? A partnership that makes you the best version of you is the most rewarding thing to experience. I've seen it somewhere. I just recently, hold on, let me go up and, okay, here we go. I found it. So this person says, and I don't know why I can't find it up here, but this person says, so when we, quote, fall out of love, it's because we don't like who we have become. Wow. So, and most of the people are agreeing. But the thing is, the reason why that's dangerous is because you're going to fall, you're going to naturally, the passion, that feeling of love is going to start to fade some. Like I've preached in the past videos, you can't live on cloud nine. You can't live at the mountaintop. You got to come down to a sustainable oxygen level. You know what I'm saying? Where crops grow and there's food and stuff. Climbing Mount Everest, you can't just say, all right, you know what? I'm living up here from here on out. No, you got to come back down. You're going to come back down naturally, right? But it's the partnership. It's the longevity that you've put in with the person. It's all of these different things. And in most cases, the family, that's what's supposed to keep you together, not just bail because you fell out of love. You know what I'm saying? And with this message, it's going to be a lot of people that, and by people, I mean, to be honest, it'd be both sexes that will do that. But typically, when women tend to leave relationships 80% of the time. So if they leave it 80% of the time, and I'm not saying they some reasons aren't legit and stuff like that, but they leave it 80% of the time. So more than likely, with a message like this, soon as a woman starts feeling like, oh, I don't feel like I'm loving him the same, she's gonna be ready to bail. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a healthy message to let the world know, because they're gonna take it as, I don't like who I'm becoming anymore. I mean, that's been said already. I don't like who I was in a relationship. Well, you evolve. And at the end of the day, when you become a mom and all these different things, you're not going to be the same person you was when the relationship first started. You was younger, more than likely. Now you're getting older. You got more responsibilities. You got kids. So now it's, you know what? I can duplicate this with somebody else. You probably can. But that's a dangerous mindset. And one of the things that some of these comments is pointing out, I'll read this one. This all sounds good until you realize that your love for that person can't be replicated with others. It's no different than trying to replace a child. When you actually love someone, you love your love is for them in a specific way that can be reproduced with others. That's a fact. That's a fact. It's that love. It just can't be duplicated. You know, for those who've been in love multiple times, it still felt different. The reasons why you love one person is different from the reasons why you love another. Now, you can have some similarities, but I don't think you'll ever be in love equally. Like once you hit the pinnacle of being in love, you'll never reach that again. So even if you are in love again, you will never reach the pinnacle. It'll never be as high of a high. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see what else. There was another one up here. They are the catalyst to reveal the love that is your nature. No, I don't like this one. This lady, I didn't even know what the hell she was talking about. But a partnership that makes you. Oh, I read that one already. True what it takes. It's more comments. I don't know why this thing is not showing me more. Let me see if I hit this button. There we go. Different relationships bring out different versions of you. Pick the one that makes you a better you effortlessly. Can't even say that shit. But yeah, a lot of the ladies you see, oh my God, so amazing and true explanation. It's a lot of women feeling like, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Why? Because the moment their love starts to fade, they're gonna bail. And you know, them leaving 80% of the time, that's a real thing. That's a number you can't escape. And for those who don't realize that it's women that get bored or their emotions fade, and then they think, is the whole relationship is devastated because they don't feel that high anymore. It's not just it's not the men's fault all the time. It's not men's fault most of the time, believe it or not. It's just women coming off that high, and when they come off that high, they don't know how to act. and if you don't know this to be true, just look at statistics of all types of relationships. You got the heterosexual relationship, your traditional man and woman. You have your traditional man and not traditional, excuse me. You have your traditional man and woman, then you have man and man, and then you have woman and woman. And the lesbian relationships divorce at a higher rate than all of them, than the heterosexual relationships. Why is that? It's two women coming off of highs, and now they don't know how to act. See, when a woman's coming off a high with a man, he still sees the future. Because when he picks you to spend his life with you, he's also thinking about the future. So he's not ready to just bail. And he understands that, yes, my emotions is not as high, but it's logically, we kind of know it's not going to be there the whole time. But in that lesbian relationship, you have two who don't realize that. And when they come off that high, they think the relationship is over. The relationship is not over. If anything, that's when it really gets started. It's really getting started at that point. You know what I mean? So hold on, let me switch this. There we go. Because it had me looking down. But that's when the relationship kind of gets started. Is when you coming off that high. Because now you got to really work. The rest of the time, when you got that high, you really have no choice to be in that relationship. Let's keep it a buck. Your emotions are so high, men and women. Your emotions is so high that it keep you there, no matter what. That's why sometimes you be like, I can't escape this thing, even though I know it's kind of bad for me, right? It's because your emotions are so high, you're just addicted to that person. But what happens when that high comes down? Now you start seeing a little bit more clear, and then you're also thinking, I need to go. But in all situations, you don't need to go because, it's not necessarily a bad situation. You got to understand the difference between, your emotions being high and a bad partner. And this is why I said in that previous video, I can't remember which one it was, but I think it was the being alone, living alone is a good time, that video. And that was I don't know, I'll find it, but that's why I said in that video, you need to find a person that's a good partner, that's a good roommate as well, right? And by roommate, meaning if y'all was just roommates, could y'all live together? You know what I'm saying? Like, take out the romance. If y'all was just roommates, will they be a good roommate? Because if you pick a partner that would be a horrible roommate, but then you now are picking a partner. This is your lover. This is your spouse. You're going to have issues with that person because they're going to be doing everything that if you was a roommate with them, you'd be like, yo, I got to bail. I'm not going to be a roommate with you. You see what I'm saying? So you got to think about that, because when that high comes down, everything becomes amplified. You know, how they, if they keep the kitchen dirty, the bathroom dirty, you know, all these little things, you know what I mean? If someone is super OCD and the other person is kind of lax, you know, these are conflicts. So when the high, you know, or like if you say, yo, one person really can live anywhere, like cold, hot, doesn't really matter. But another person feels like, yo, I really want to live somewhere where it's warm all year, or I really want to live somewhere where it's all seasons. We get all of the seasons. You know, that could be a problem. You know, once the high comes in, I'll follow you anywhere. But once the high come down, now it's like, oh my gosh, it's cold. I want to go somewhere where it's warm. And the other person's like, yo, you know, well, you chose to be here and I set up shop. So now I don't want to go anywhere. You know, all of these different things matter. That's why I look at a person's, you know, traits in the home and stuff like that, you know, and see, could you deal with it? If you can't deal with it, it's not going to work. Sometimes I honestly feel like the whole love part is somewhat secondary, because being in love, that high is going to come down. Can you sustain outside of that? That's why I kind of look at more. You know what I mean? I would see you and think, you know what? I think this person could be a good person to do this thing called life with for the long haul. You know, we might not even I might not even feel that high for them, but so what? You know, this person is a good person to spend life with, right? You got to look at it a little different. All right. So I think we'll move on from that one. Go to another video. Let's go to this one.
This mother took both of her daughters to fight with her, and they both passed away because of it.
Some witnesses say the sisters, along with their mother, went into that beauty supply store to confront worker there. Now 2 people are dead. After 3 people went inside the store Wednesday, but only 1 came out. Hot Springs police confirmed 19-year-old Mernea Myers and her sister, 22-year-old Monteria Myers, and their mother went into Simply Unique Hair Beauty Supply to confront one of the workers. They got in a fight with that employee. Witnesses say the worker was badly beaten, grabbed a gun, and shot at the women. One sister died at the scene, the other died at the hospital. Their mother got in a black car and drove off. A shooter was taken in for questioning but not arrested. Now those in the area say they worry about retaliation and are keeping quiet. They say the beauty shop worker and the owner have left the city for safety.
The 2 girls were attempting to retreat, but the beauty shop worker discharged at them from the back. Police found about what their mother did and who's the real victim. This mother took both of her daughters to fight with her, and they both passed away because of it.
Some witnesses say this.
All right, that's crazy. Testing out something for. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. To take your daughters, your job is to protect your kids, you know, not take them. Like I don't see me taking my sons, especially like it's one thing if we go into war because it's like a war type of deal. But like if it's just on some straight, yo, I feel like I got disrespected. We going back to go set it off. Like that's crazy, you know, to take your kids. And then she bailed on her daughter. Like your daughter got shot and you left her there. Like just taking her alone, well, them, because it was two daughters. Taking them was just a no-no. Then your daughter got shot and you hopped in the car and just drove off knowing your daughter got shot. That's wild to me. I can't see. And the thing is, her daughters are grown, so you can't even hit her with like child neglect or anything. She won't get no charges. And people are looking at the person in the store as a problem, but really she was a victim. She was getting jumped. And she did what she had to do, you know, to defend herself. But that is crazy to me that she felt the need to take her daughter and then her daughters got killed in that situation. I don't know what world we living in right now. All right, let me go to the next one. Hold on, let's see what the comments say. We got mothers sacrificing her children to their hair gods before Jesus. The mother got in a car and drove off, leaving her one dead and other critically injured daughters behind. Electric chair immediately. But see, that's the thing. Because her daughters are grown, I don't think she could get charged for anything. She can't get charged for anything. They decided to go. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. The victim is the real victim and hero in the story. She really abandoned her daughters at the end of all of it. Yeah, that's crazy to me. When this happened, I read the article that said the beauty shop worker had beat the younger girl up pretty bad. They said she had knots from a metal pole or something. Supposedly, the beauty shop worker was stalking her ex. Okay, hold up. The beauty shop worker was stalking her ex. The ex was talking to the younger girl. It said the worker sat outside his house for hours until they came out and beat the girl. They went the next day attempting retaliation, so the worker's not innocent. Oh, damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, let's talk to the girl. He said the worker sat outside the house for hours until they came. Okay. That's crazy. Proof of why we need the Second Amendment. Some women just need to have kids. Some women just don't need to have kids. So, all right, that changes it up a little bit. But how they let her get a gun? That's what I'm trying to. And then it says she got shot as she was running away. So it's no longer self-defense if you're shooting them in the back. Hold on, let's see. You're just as bad as the mother who raised you. Why is she just as bad as the mother? She just was reading a report. It said, right, she left because she didn't want the police to catch on. It don't matter. I mean, if you at this point, your daughter got beat up, even if the police did come, who cares? You know, you shouldn't leave your daughter. Yeah, they probably should have just filed charges, you know, from the beginning. But, you know, sometimes people don't want to go to the police. They want to handle it their own. Yeah, that's I don't know. That's a tough one right there. Now there's more context to it, you know, it is a little tough because like you do want to beat the shit out of the person who beat up your daughter. And you want your daughter to be there to get some licks in. I mean, just keep it a buck, you know what I mean? But if she beat her that bad with a pole, I mean, should she have pressed charges? I don't know. That was a tough one right there. The day before, the beauty shop owner pistol whipped the daughter. The daughter is the beauty shop owner's new girlfriend. There's too much going on now. I don't know. All right, let's go to this next video.
What do you do if your husband has a wandering eye? Somebody asked me that, and unfortunately, she was not ready for my answer. So I want to share it here because
I don't want to go to that one. The first one. This one. This lady's crazy.
I'm a side bitch and didn't want to tell me who it was. So you know I had to get a private investigator and find out where she lived, find out where she worked, and come to find out, she was being funny on Facebook, acting like I'm supposed to be mad because she be with him on the weekends and shit like that. So I went up to this bitch job and I had to let her know. It's in here. I love him. And I love him so much. That means I love you too. So I'm going to need you to hop on board Team Mitchell and get this shit right. I would bring her lunch. I would bring her breakfast at work. I would bring her lunch in the afternoon. I'd cook for her. invite her over for dinner, but she would never want to come. And one time she ran out of gas, and I was right there because I was just making sure she got to work okay. I wasn't stalking or nothing, but I was just making sure she was getting to work. So when she saw that I was right there behind her when she ran out of gas, instead of being like, damn, I'm glad you saved me, she was fucking mad. No, bitch, I'm going to treat you right. Because if he love you, I love you. Bitch, you going to be treated right. I care. That's it. So your kids, you need to let me see them. I want to see my kids. They're our kids. And bitch, you better not cheat on him, because if you do, you got a whole nother thing coming. You're not going to break his heart, because then you breaking my heart. So if you end this for life, Team Mitchell. And she didn't like that. So I don't know. She trying to like get a restraining order on me. Like, bitch, I love you. We supposed to be family. We supposed to be one happy family. Like, what's wrong with that?
Nah, that's crazy. That lady is crazy. That lady's crazy. First of all, there is some people who are cool with their significant other or spouse having, side pieces, men and women. It's some men is I mean, you got to think there's swingers out there and all of that shit, open relationships. All right, cool. That's cool. But to be on some like, I love you. You know what I mean? And I want to see our kids. Did she say our kids? Because her kids is their kids. I don't know how she said it, but like I want to see them, and then constantly going out of her way to make sure she got food and all that. Like this lady is crazy. You got to be ashamed as a father. If you raised it, she probably didn't have no father around, because I mean, for her to be on this type of nonsense, to go to just be there that much, it's just insane to me. It's insane to me. I can't. Let's see what the comments say, because this is crazy. Moral of the story. Hold on one second. Moral of the story. We got to reinstate polygamy because it's more goddesses than gods, and that's how we always did it. And to you heathens who don't want to grasp this, because you're, I guess that's supposed to be, is that white person or you? Yeah, white person. Oh yeah, your white person brain won't. Is that? I don't know. Usually that's what people put for white. But anyways, won't allow it, then go run to others who aren't the hydrocarbonated, not yet, he meant white, hydrocarbonated non-ether beings, and have them soulless babies against universal law. Yeah, that's a lot that he put in there. And the whole is more goddesses than gods thing. All right, so it's more women than men. I hear a lot of dudes use that, right? I'm not against polygamy, just to put that out there, right? I'm not saying it'll work for everybody. I'm not saying that everybody should practice it, but I'm not against it, because clearly monogamy is not the answer, because them relationships ain't working either, right? So do whatever works best for you. You know what I mean? But what I will say is, when men use the whole "it's more women than it is men" thing, I think, one, they need to do a little bit more research, because that's not a good excuse, because it's not an accurate excuse. It's accurate to a certain extent, meaning there is technically more women, but it's very minute. It's like it's less than 51-49 difference. It's not like it's like 65-70% women on this planet and it is like 35% men. That's not the case. It's actually really, really close, but for some odd reason, people think it's not that way, and they use that like, yo, it's so many women, and look, we supposed to be able to do that because that's not true. You know what I'm saying? So stop using that as an excuse. I'm all for the objective truth, those who know me. So even if it doesn't, work in my favor, I'll still say it or use it or be real about it. And the real thing is, I could believe that in a polygamous relationship and still won't use that as an excuse, because it's not accurate. It's not that many. It's not, the number of women is not that high compared to men. It's close. So stop using that as an excuse. It's bullshit. Now, what I will say is the number of men that want women compared to the number of women that want men is, now that gap is big, huge, because it's only about 15 to 20% of the men out here that actually are wanted by the women. All the rest of them is just kind of getting overlooked. You know what I'm saying? So there's way more men that want women than there is women that want men. And that's where the big gap lies. So if that's the case, if y'all chasing the same guy on some real shit, you might end up having to share him. I'm not saying you don't have to, but you may, that it just might happen that way because of the fact that y'all all want the same guy. Y'all want a lot of this, same qualities. A lot of times women want what other women have. We know that to be true. It's not always the case, but we know it to be true a lot. Like I said before, men want, I said this in a previous video, men want what they want and what wants them. So I have my type, but all in all, what wants me, as long as I'm attracted to them, right, in some way, I want them. Women want what they want, meaning their type, and or what other women want. So a man could immediately go from a 5 to a 8 or 9 as soon as other women validate him. You know what I'm saying? And especially if she's prettier than the woman that was just shitting on him. So if you have a male coming into a workspace, let's just say, and he's like a 5, right? Oh, my fault. I wasn't even looking at the comments. What was that most of the time you was referring to, Mr. May? But anyways, if you have a man coming to the workspace, right, and he's like a 5, he's just average, and none of the women might be checking for him. But in the day he came into the workspace, maybe that first week or so, the finest woman in that workspace happened to be on vacation, right? That woman, if she was to come back and be like, who's the new guy? And, they start flirting and shit, or she start talking to him, maybe she just nice. Maybe he was just saying things that was funny to her and she just enjoyed it. Like, yo, he a funny dude. You know what I mean? It wasn't even really necessarily flirting, but because the outside looking in is saying, oh, they must be flirting. And the other women around is noticing that. And now all of a sudden, this guy who was a 5, who when he first got there, none of the women were checking for him. Now that the finest chick there said something or is interacting with him and they seem to be cool, now they like, oh, I want to get him. Women wanting what other women want. Yeah. It's not all the time. But it's a lot of the times. And you see it happen too often. I've seen it. I've experienced it personally. You know what I'm saying? So I've experienced it. So I know how it goes. I've experienced it as in, like maybe I wasn't getting that much attention or play. Then they see me with another woman. It could be at the gym or at work or whatever. And then now all of a sudden I notice I start getting more attention, or just being the person observant, because I'm very observant. So I could just see, like, maybe I'm cool with some of the coworkers, and now all of a sudden they talking about this guy, but it's really because one girl started the whole trend, and now they just battling. They love to compete. Why is that, ladies? Well, I feel I have the answer, and I know why, but I just would love to know in the comments, why do y'all feel? And don't say I don't. If you write in the comments I don't want to hear it. Write why you think that is. Not, well, I don't do that. I'm not talking about the anomalies. I'm talking about, why do y'all feel that the women do that? Want what another woman already has. And we know this to be true because go ask all the married men, right? They always say, oh, married men, once they get married, they be more single than when they was single, right? And the whole thing is meaning they be fucking around and all that. Why? Because they have more access. You know why they have more access? Because of that ring. They become more attractive once they get the ring on their finger. It always happens. It's when I remember when I first got married, like men that was already married that I knew told me that. It was like, yo, you gotta be careful because with that ring on your finger, you know, more women are gonna come at you. I was like, what? And I got married young. So, and sure enough, they wasn't lying. So that's the thing. Men don't do that. Men are not, we not like, yo, because he want her, like, yo, since my boy want her, I want her now. Now she attractive. Now, men could compete sometimes, don't get me wrong. But all in all, it's like, yo, if that's your type, that's your type. Like when me and my boys, if we see something this like if it's his type, I'll be like, yo, son, you gotta see this girl. Even though that's not my type, but I know she's good looking for him. Like that's maybe she's tall and I like short girls, right? Just throwing out some random shit. And if he into taller chicks, then and I see like she has potential, I might not really fully want her because she's not my type. She's tall, right? And I want him shorter. But I know he wanted, so I'll be like, yo, there's a girl over here for you, blah, 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 blah. But now if she all of a sudden, let's just say, was into me because she was still, you know, actually fairly attractive and she was into me, then now I'm into her because she's into me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we operate. We don't operate off of what another man wants or likes. You know what I'm saying? So now I like her. You know what I mean? The ones who do, you know, like the Drakes of the world, they might do that shit. But I know Drake just caught a straight for no reason, but it is what it is. How long I've been doing this stream? Let me see. Shit, I think I could probably cut it here. Should I play another one? I do want to play this one, but this one is longer. This one right here. This was a good one. Should I play this one real quick?
What do you do if your husband has a wandering eye? Somebody asked me that, and unfortunately, she was not ready for my answer. So I want to share it here because maybe somebody else
I
is.
don't like this one. I don't like this one that much. We're gonna dead that right there. Cut that out. Stop sharing. But yeah, you said that ring becomes a magnet. It sure does. That's crazy. It becomes a magnet. You know what I mean? So, but till next time, thanks for watching. Remember to comment all the questions that I asked. Please give me your answers. If you made it this far, I might have cut it off. But if not, you know, give me your answers to everything in the comments. Peace.